Hi, Sam Tober, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we are continuing with our basic piano tutorials for the month of April 2024. Wow, we have shared quite a bit of theory, practical use, and now we want to be able to uh, give you how do you develop the touch necessary to put in place the use of all of those chords, major, minor, minor sixes, diminished chords, um, sevenths, all these chords that go into making the sound of music. Back in the key of C once again, and again, the practice of having a key in which you're going to build your practice routine over always helps. Does it always have to be C? No, in fact, I encourage you to be in every key and get familiar and comfortable being in those keys. And as you've seen in the previous lessons, not just the major, but the minor also, so that you could find your own chord sound. Now, again, we covered building chords where you want to work with your root and just add a second note to make it a sixth, add a third note to make it a seventh, flat that third note or that fourth note to make it major seventh or flat seventh, minor sixes, diminished chords. Because when you're doing gospel music, especially when you're playing for a church, the placement of the chords is so important. But even more important than that is what song are you going to place those chords under. So if you know the basic songs, which are common to your local church ministry, then you can look at all the chords that I've shown you over the month of April 2024, if you're seeing this video past this time. And now you look to see, well, where do I place these chords and how do I place it? Do I place it as a very brash chord, or do I do it very subtle? That's where the having a keyboard that has weighted keys comes into play. For piano, you need to know how hard to hit and how soft to hit, so that when you're doing those chords and you're using the sustain pedal, you can get those changes in there. Now, again, when do you place a chord? I have several songs on the site showing me playing hundreds of songs now. I think after the many years that I've been providing music instruction on the YouTube format platform, there's over 2,300 videos, and they're not all the same songs. Yes, some have been repeated in different keys, but they all cover the same aspect: melody, chord placement, basic chords, which are the number system chords, and then the extended chords to bring you to where you want to do the song. And as you can see, having the ability to move your hands across the keyboards, knowing when you're going to go to do a diminished chord, when you're going to do a C major 9 chord, and it's a major 9 because I've extended all these notes from the root to know what they sound like. So I'm going to lean on jazz just a little bit, because gospel borrows chords that you get from the jazz. If you know the song Autumn Leaves, let me see. We'll do diminished chord. Now I have to hum that so I'll know where in the scale I can now find that note. Now that I know where it is, I don't have to worry about it, because I know the next note is going to be G. I know the next note is going to be F in the scale. But I'm going to do a turn, B minor. And another turn. These are the the ways that you could build your techniques. Find a song that is relative to what you already know. Now, again, I came up with television commercials and theme movies, so I had a starting spot that a lot of you did not have. You jumped right into playing for church music, so all you knew was go to the 1, go to the 6, go to the 4, go to the 5, go to the 1. I did back in my day, it was I'm not sure the name of this song, but it was that's what I had back in my day. Or I had chopsticks. That's what I had back in my day, but now I'm going a little bit extended what I would normally do. So you have to find, from a practice standpoint, what song can you resonate with? Now, of course, being a church musician, I had to learn all the hymns, anthems, spirituals, and contemporary at that time songs that were coming out. So I couldn't just rely on the basics and in any key. If a song came in and was in the key of G, I couldn't just say, well, I don't know how to play in the key of G. Find a scale in the key of G. What is the song? Let's see if I can pull one out. Well, we'll go with Oh Happy Day, because that's in the 70s. Walter Hawkins, one of the iconic songs of that day that came out. But a lot of churches didn't want to sing it. Why? Because it went against or contrary to the traditional Oh Happy Day. That's the traditional Oh Happy Day. When Jesus washed my sins. That's the traditional one, which no one really sang. Why? Because it has the history that to my understanding, I could be wrong, of an Irish drinking song. Oh, happy. Now I can change the keys. And that is the advantage of having a chord palette underneath you to be able to hear a melody and choose what pattern of chords you want to use. Now, when the Hawkins came out with the Oh Happy Day, and I got to be careful because I've been already flagged on this one. Very basic. Here's the change. That's one of the chords that we covered in the previous lessons about building your chords. Then they went into, here's one of the chords we covered, A minor 6, but if you reduce all the notes, it comes to a C major 7. If you reduce all the notes and shift them around. Very basic. So if we looked at what's being used in church, if we would take the song key of G, I love to praise him. Turn chord, pentatonic scale, the grace, I love to, or I pick and choose which way you want to go. But it's in the 7, minor 6, there it is, I love to pray. The jazz scale, so now you get to pick and choose. How do you want to attack a song that may be used in your current location? I realize that we are now doing a lot of praise and worship. So if you were going to do, let's see, How great is our God, key of G. Breaking the chords apart, that's the 1, the 6. I want to say the 2, no, it's 2, there it is. Even I got to look at the keys to see where the bass falls to see what chords can be assigned. Where I look at that song in the key of G, I look to find where's the melody going. To the chorus. Five, what the 7, 3, 6. Those are changes that I've heard in other songs. Okay, when I think about it, I got to think about the numbers. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But look at my chord I'm using to give me that sound. Borrowing chords from a C major 7 because why? C is in the scale. Excuse me. C is in the scale. So when you have the knowledge of chords and when you're learning songs, now you can look at your entire set of chords, stop on the 4, how many chords are in C? That's there, that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there. That is kind of there. If you break it down, that's one of the chords that we covered. And then you apply those chords to whatever song you happen to be in. So, how great is our God? Change the chord. How great. E, right? E minor. E minor. Back to that C chord. Why? Because we're using C or the 4, but the 2. Again, when you understand the scales, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 2 notes are in the G major scale. I can use chords from both of these scales. That's from the C, this is from the A, and this is from the D. And jazz. So the concept, which we'll still be covering for the month of April, is now that we've got all of these chords, let's find some songs that we can apply them to, especially congregational songs. If we wanted to do, let's see, Victory Is Mine, and we want to put that in the key of D flat. Chord. Now you can work the touch that you want to use those chords with. Change key to E, D, D. Walk it down. E flat. No bass. major. In F. It's all about getting yourself, first of all, a practice regimen, a routine, which we've given you the way to practice. We've given you what to practice and how to practice. We've given you the chords built upon the scales in every key. And now we're going to, before we finish this series for the month of April, and we go into our next series, we're going to give you the practical uses, the touch, we've covered the bounce already in some of our earlier series, but we'll cover the bounce a little bit to get you comfortable in doing your own practice sessions, working with your own beats, and having the fun of turning practice into music. Take care now, and see you on the next Basic Piano Tutorials. Bye now.